Justin Zeus the God Johnson is a 5'9", 27-year-old mixed martial artist competing in the lightweight division. A striker with heavy hands and strong wrestling fighting out of St. Louis, Missouri, his team affiliations are Watson Martial Arts, Wolves Den MMA, and St. Louis Boxing Academy. As he looks to improve his amateur record to 3-0 May 7th against Keston McLean, he took some time to answer a few questions after Saturday Jiu-Jitsu class at Watson's Martial Arts. In this interview, we talk family, fraternity, and mixed martial arts. If you enjoyed this interview, buy tickets to see Justin fight Saturday, May 7th for Hub City MMA. Enjoy. Thank you for doing this.
Oh, yeah, anytime, man. I appreciate you for taking time to interview me, man.
Fight next Friday. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling. It's probably the best I done felt at any count out of all of my fights. Just had to cut. Really just been staying around the weight I fight at, kind of on that end, more so than grubbing up and being a little thicky. So yeah, so this is probably the best I done felt in any fight for real.
Cool. Your birthday was on March 27th while you're in camp. You turned 27 years old. Did you do anything for your birthday, or was it all business?
So it was all business. I actually trained. Matter of fact, I trained that morning for session number 1, and then I came home to try to take a nap. And I got a little man basement. It's my man cave. I actually come home from training thinking I'm finna take a nap, and my fiance actually had my basement set up for like a whole surprise birthday party. She had a little backdrop and everything. So it was kind of relieving on that. So I kind of missed out on the session too to train. So it was I appreciated it. She took a little load off my feet while I was in the middle of camp. And I did have little slice of cake.
Cool. Well, leading into fight week, you have a 4-hour drive ahead of you to Jackson, Tennessee. In your post-fight interview against BJ Clark, you mentioned that that's where you grew up. What does it mean to fight? What does it mean to you to fight in front of the hometown crowd?
Man, honestly, it means a lot. That's why I'm grateful that Ryan Collins actually gave me the opportunity to fight in front of the home crowd. I have all my family, all my friends there, and then just having that home crowd, it means a lot to me. Just me coming out, hearing them going crazy, screaming my name. So it's cool to fight where I was born and raised, you know. Just give me that extra oomph that I need, because a lot of fight nerves and things come like that when it comes to fighting. So that's one big thing that I do appreciate that. So shout out to Ryan Collins on giving me that opportunity to be able to fight back in home, Hub City MMA, baby.
Cool. And your mom joined you in the winner's circle. What does it mean to have her support in the cage?
So that's my lady. Everything I do, me and my mom are super close. Talk to her every day, every morning. That's like part of my morning routine after our training. I call her just to see how she get her day. I get her fired up a lot then for her day, just like I fire myself up for my day. So that actually means a lot, having her support. She's nervous about it. She always nervous about me going into the cage. Sometimes it's hard for her to watch, and just like my fiance, it's hard for her to watch. One of these days, we're gonna get her to actually come to one of the fights too. But yeah, having my mom come in on that win, it meant a lot for me. So yeah, just having her in my corner, and then my dad as well. I feel like as long as I got them two beside me, it's like nothing I can't accomplish.
That's awesome. So you mentioned in that same post-fight interview that you and BJ Clark were childhood friends.
Yeah.
Could you describe your relationship with him?
So we actually played football together. We started out at Northeast. We played football on that end. So it was always a competitive edge as playing football, just being teammates. I mean, we played on the same side of the ball. And then we actually went to high school my freshman year together. We played at Northside on that before I transferred out from there. So yeah, just growing up with him, having him on the football team, I always treat my teammates like family. So at the end of the day, it goes down to that interaction with being almost like family.
Have you guys spoken since the fight?
Yeah, we have. We actually friends on Facebook. We comment on each other's stuff. I try to keep in touch with him. I mean, everybody from back at home. So yeah, we actually have talked. I congratulated him. He actually won his next fight. So yeah, he knocked the dude out, smooth, clean out on that. So that was pretty cool to see him go in. And I like to see my opponents, no matter who it is, how the fight went. And so I show a lot of respect. So congratulating him on his last fight that he smoked the dude in the second or first round. I can't remember, but he gave him a good shot.
So you played college football at SIU as a defensive back. Obviously, speed and athleticism are important for any sport, but the characteristics Google defines as making a good DB are always knowing the down and the distance, attention and awareness to detail, and anticipation of the routes and plays the opposing team will be running. What lessons did you learn playing DB that you take into the cage with you?
Confidence. That's one of the biggest things you have on confidence because it's hard being out on that island. It's just you and the receiver. You gotta lock that receiver up, and you gotta have confidence in your ability and footwork. That's one key thing that that I take over, and then having the discipline. Discipline goes a long way with that. And like I said, that confidence, you gotta have confidence on that island. That's really a lot of my confidence, and you gotta have short-term memory. So I take that into this fight game too. So it has prepared me a lot for just for the fight game, especially having a competitive edge. So I actually put a lot of my life things according to like playing defensive back. So especially that short-term memory. You gotta have short-term memory. You gotta stay calm, composed. So that's one thing that I take a key into that's brought over into this and translated into this fight game.
You were a Watson Martial Arts and a St. Louis boxing teammate, the same way you were an SIU football teammate. Can you describe the similarities and the differences between the two, being a football teammate and a combat sports teammate?
Honestly, me is me. That's one thing. I'm gonna be the same regardless. So I mean, I fire all my teammates up. I like to bring the good energy. I like rooting for my teammates. I'm always rooting for my teammates no matter what, if it's a BJJ tournament, fighting, kickboxing tournament, or just being in the gym. I like to have fun with my teammates, fire them up, and just also give them good looks and things on that. So I love training, bringing that energy to the gym. I think it's pretty, like Kyle says, it spreads out through the gym. He said my energy is spreadable. So I like to keep the level up there on that end. So I think that's one of the biggest things that I like to do is just energy, bringing that energy, because it ain't nothing like having fun while doing something you love, you know. Even on days like when some days people don't feel like training, and so just me bringing that energy, being able to push them, help them push them forward and things like that, bringing them to light. So that's one thing I can say that it actually translates as well on that, being a great teammate, pushing each other, and then we all benefiting and just being one big happy family, for real.
Cool. No differences at all.
Not at all.
You are a member of the historically black fraternity Omega SciFi. What does it mean to you to represent them in the cage?
Hey, I represent them all the time, every day, 24/7, man. So that's one thing they bring. We reciprocate that same energy. It's more than just a fraternity to me. It's family, for real. Like a lot of like even on my followers and stuff on like Instagram, Twitter, and things like that. It'd be some guys I haven't even really met, but they're always pushing me forward. They checking up on the fights, seeing how my training's going. So it's super big. They definitely keep me on edge and keep me on my toes and things. They hold me accountable. So accountability is one of the best abilities, and that's one thing that the fraternity has pushed forth with me on that end, because it's like it be a lot of guys, like I said, they never met me in person, but just meeting them through like social media and things like that, they're always rooting for me, for real. So root to the bros, you know how that go with that. So that's one that I do appreciate I do appreciate them as well on that end. So
what lessons from Omega SciFi have you learned that you bring into the cage with you?
One of the biggest things that we like to say to each other is see it through. Because pledging that fraternity, it's a great fraternity. Making it is not the easiest thing. We have very high standards as well with that. So one of the biggest things is see it through. No matter how hard it gets, you just got to see it through. Through adversity, through anything that comes your way, any obstacle, you got to. We always say to each other, see it through, dog. You'll be all right.
What do you think you've improved the most on this camp?
What I've improved the most on is really my striking. That's one thing I have improved a lot on, striking, and then my wrestling as well. Being out at Wolves Dens on Sundays and things like that, being able to cross train is one thing. And then I have pushed a lot of emphasis on striking with St. Louis boxing. Shout out to Coach Reggie, Coach Jersey, on that. So my striking is a big improvement. So that's one thing I do want to showcase on that is the striking on that, and then just being able to go out there and push the pace, stay forward on that.
What's next for Justin Johnson after a win May 7th?
Next was after that, I'm always training. Like I don't really get to spend too much time with my fiance. So really what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna kick back with her for probably like a week or two before I get back into training.
What is your favorite element of mixed martial arts, the sport?
Oh wow, the respect, for real. I think that's one of the biggest things I have learned in MMA. It's a lot of respect among your opponents and things like that, and just you got to respect the art. I mean, instead of just going out and doing it. I mean, it's just like a respect plays a huge factor in this, and then self-discipline, self-control. That's a few things that I do love about mixed martial arts. It's taught me a lot with discipline and respect on that end. So that's one thing I do appreciate with that.
Where do you think it could change or improve?
Weight cutting. Hey, I think people should stop trying to kill themselves when they weight cutting, man. People be cutting like 30 pounds in like a day. Like, nah, man, you gotta clean that up a little bit. I feel like some people should just edge a little bit closer and discipline with that. So stop cutting. Yeah, don't kill yourself to make the weight and things like that. That's one thing I think it can improve in with that. There's a few things for real. I mean, it's always room for improvement. That's one of Kyle's motto, art of improvement. So yeah, so I think it's a lot that can improve with them. But I mean, hey, the journey for me is just starting, so I feel like I'm just a small voice in it. So I ain't got too much to say about it.
Yeah. Well, you have a voice as a fan. What's your favorite element of the MMA community?
The crazy fans, man. I think I love the fans, dude. I love the trollers. I love all that. So yeah, all the people that see red when they I love when people tell me things like that. Oh, that can happen to me and things like that. They never know until you're actually in that situation. Like Mike Tyson said, everybody got to play until you get punched in the mouth and things like that. They don't understand how much effort and hard work we put into this. But I still, like I said, I still love the fans about it. And just hearing them, hearing their outtakes and things like that. So a lot of the stuff be absurd, but hey, that's part of the game. But that's part of the game that I do love because I love interacting with different fans of the MMA community. It's always a fun time.
Absolutely. How would you describe Justin Johnson, the human being?
As a human being, man, awesome. But no, for real, high energy. I'm always in a good mood. You'll probably never see me down on things like that. Very trustworthy, respectful man. That's one thing growing up. I have Southern hospitality. Just me as a person. I feel like I'm a great person. A lot of people around me, I like to bring good energy to everybody around me. I like to see everybody winning. That's one thing I do. If you're working hard, I'm rooting for you. I root for everybody. I mean, I want to see everybody win. As long as you're putting the work in, I always tell people, just show effort. That's one of my biggest things, is just effort. So I feel like, just me being as a person, I feel like that I'm a pretty stand-up guy, if you ask me.
Do you have a message to your fans and any shout-outs?
Message to my fans, man. I love all them guys, man. Shout out to the gang. You know, everybody out there that's rooting for me or rooting against me. I appreciate you as well. I know a few guys saying this is supposed to be my first loss. I'm actually looking forward to this fight. This is probably going to be one of the funnest fights I've participated in. So, I mean, with that, so, dude, shout out to Kyle. Shout out to Coach Saban's, the one that got me started into the MMA journey. And then shout out to Coach Reggie, Coach Jersey. Shout out to Mop, shout out to Jersey. Shout out to, man, Jordan Dowdy. It's a lot of people I can really just get a shout outs to. Shout out to Colin, Danny, Alejandro, man. It's a lot of people I can get shout out to. Everybody at Wolves Den, everybody at Watches Martial Arts. Shout out to the guys that's sponsoring me, things like that. I got now, Jeremiah, M2 Fitness. Coach Jason here too as well. He definitely keep me on point with my Muay Thai and my striking in that end too as well. Just everybody overall, man. It's a blessing to have everybody because I always tell my people we're not doing this alone. This is for us. Every fight I dedicated to us. Just me, my friends, my family, all of my supporters and things like that. And everybody, you guys keep me going. And we're going to continue to take this thing to the top. We're going to ride the wave and keep this thing pushing. P. You feel me? Yes, sir.